A dream, an illusion, a wish. A crescent moon shining over a tiny clearing in the depth of a forest. One can hear dried leaves on the ground, the cackling of a bonfire, whistling of the wind, and eeriness of the dense woods. There are 12 stones and a log surrounding the dimly lit bonfire as seats, but only the log seemed occupied. Perhaps it was a rusty campsite that had barely the minimal requirements for one to spend the night. It seems like there's an oddly misfigured specimen sitting on the log. It has 2 heads. Oh wait, no, it's just Ide resting her head on Ove's shoulder. A fleece wrapped around them and hands intertwined under the same. It was a beautiful autumn night, and the smell of raw nature surrounded them. A translucent mist surrounded the pine trees, blocking the view of the peak. They seemed content, embracing each other in the moment, in silence, motionless, subjugated into the fire as if it had casted an enchantment spell upon the couple. We talk when we want to communicate our thoughts to one another, but silence is the language of souls. In life, there are these certain submissive, good-natured oppressions that we give into irresistibly, and this was one of them. Suddenly, there was a rustling in the leaves behind them which startled Ide, which made Ove snap out of his trance. A dog-like creature appeared from the bushes, scared and hungry. It had a reddish ginger fur. He had a white patch on his chest and the tip of his tail. He could smell the roasting marshmallows over the fire. Ove hid behind Ide, shivering. "You are the man, Ove. Come on, grow a pair," she said, rolling her eyes, dismayed by the lack of masculinity around the bonfire. "I don't want to be ripped into shreds by this sly, cunning creature," he humphed. She gave him one of her patent looks. He obliged and knew that the creature was hungry, so he picked up both the marshmallow sticks and turned around, but it was nowhere to be seen. Between this interaction, the creature circled them and changed its position, edging closer to the fire, looking ever so earnestly at the sticks. He was about a few yards on the periphery of the camp. Ove got on his knees and placed his stick with the half-burnt marshmallow on the ground. The creature, overcome by the proverbial want of food, took a few sniffs at it, wondering if they tried to pull a fast one on him. Animals as well as people stick to what they know best. If they act a certain way, they expect others to act that way as well. But anyway, it took a nibble, and to its delight, it was scrumptious. It gobbled up the rest of it in an instant, chewing against the soft, gooey treat, bending its head from side to side, wagging its tail, as if to ask, "Are you gonna eat that, or may I do the honor?" A pair of hazel eyes bounced between, glancing at the white sweet and the couple, just like a man tries to catch a glimpse of his girlfriend at her wedding with another random dude. So close, yet so far. Ove held out the stick. Now panting, it looked at the latter as if to say, "Put it down and I'll eat it." So the man gently stretched out his hand, probing him to consume it from the same. It seemed like an eternity, but eventually it gave in and pawed closer to them. Ide had been clasping onto the fleece like a serial killer onto his victim. Now she let out an exasperated breath, just as the former does once he accomplishes his task. Meanwhile, the wild creature grew suspicious, but desired the treat way too much to think straight. The entire incident felt like it was in slow motion. The animal did not show haste, but now was at an arm's length from Ove. It took the mallow in its mouth, tugging it from Ove. and he eased his grip. Once it finished eating the entire thing, it looked back at both of them, longing for more, like as if they were magicians and would make the food appear out of nowhere. Ove showed both of his palms, as if to signal to him that he was harmless. The creature did not feel threatened after seeing Ove's palms. Now it came closer to Ove and inquired his hands with its nose. At this juncture, the picture is that their eyes were at equal level, and Ove was hunching on his knees. He swayed his hands to the right of his face, brushing past the fox's whiskers. For an untamed animal, not knowing this feeling, it grew curious, but still had his walls up. Ide now bent down and tried to pat it, to which it snarled. Ove shit his pants and retreated his hands, astonished by what just happened. She let out her palms again, showing that she had nothing on her, and she smelled like fresh sandalwood, which definitely helped release the pent-up tension. The unthinkable happened, and the beast took a leap of faith. He did so because he had never felt this sensation, and everything leading up to that moment was perfect. She very gently rubbed her soft thumb between the left eye and his nose. Crickets could be heard crackling, and one could even occasionally hear a hoot from the owl. No one knew how long they were there, petting the wild being, but it felt right. "Told you we won't die," she said to Ove. "Well, we came as close to having our hands ripped apart as this one did to the sour grapes," grinned Ove. She cupped the left part of the animal's face and Ove held the right side, and it signaled a wag of its bushy orangish white tail. It almost seemed like all three of them were smiling, looking at each other. The end. Let me know in the comments below how you enjoyed the video. If you did, and please share it with your friends and hit the subscribe button. Thank you and have a nice day.